The gravel road rides with a slow gallop over the fields. The telephone line's streaming behind. Its billow of dust full of the sparks of red-winged blackbirds. On either side, those dear old ladies, the loosening barns, their little windows dulled by cataracts of hay and cobwebs hide broken tractors under their skirts. So this is Nebraska. A Sunday afternoon, July. Driving along with your hand out squeezing the air. A meadowlark waiting on every post. I'm Christopher James, and I'm the owner of Porridge Papers. We make paper, that's kind of our primary focus. And then we also do letterpress printing as well. My true love really is paper, making the paper. I was working at an art store, and I found myself purchasing a papermaking kit. And took it home and got a little blender, from the local grocery store and started grinding up paper in my kitchen. It was the creative part of it that was just so much fun, getting my hands dirty and wet and, splashing around in the pulp. The little boy inside of me came out, I guess, at that point. All of the paper that we produce is all made from recycled fibers. One of the best sources is envelope converting companies. I got really lucky because there is an envelope converting company in Wahoo, Nebraska called Berkeley Envelope. I can use that as a base, and my base will always be fairly consistent when I go to add coloring. It's fun to be able to say my paper's locally sourced because it truly is. We process that back into pulp, and we have a machine that's called a Hollander beater. We dump it out into these giant tanks, and then if I have to color it or put seeds in it or glitter, we do it at that point. We have a screen that we kind of sift the paper out, and usually what I tell people, it's very similar to kind of, sifting for gold. You turn that upside down and transfer that to felt, and then we press it. We have a giant 20-ton press. And then put it into a room that's got a series of fans in there, and it just sucks the water out of the paper. The paper that we're making right now is really fun. It's hops paper for a local brewery here in town. What do they make beer out of? One of the ingredients is hops. And so they asked, can you put that in paper? We're taking that paper and we're using that paper for their business cards. Not only do they have this great looking business card, but it becomes a conversation piece. This isn't a normal card. This isn't one that you're gonna find, scanned in and then tossed in the trash. Someone's gonna hold on to that. I moved to Lincoln when I was 20 to go to school here. I fell in love with it. It's a very walkable, bikeable town. Lincoln has that, support local business, buy local. We've always wanted to bring the community into what we do. We love showing it to the kids because this is obviously nothing that they've ever heard of before. They're very dialed into the electronics. So to get them to come in here and, think about that piece of paper, where did it come from? You think back to when you were a kid and how carefree everything was. You had no worries. You didn't second guess your decisions, you just jumped right in. And that's what they do, and that's fun to see. The thing that makes me the most proud and that I'm the most excited about is to tell people that I make a living making paper. From day one, there was very few people that believed that this would actually happen. And I persevered, I stayed with my convictions and said, no, I love this. I'm gonna figure out a way to make money and figure out a way to stay happy doing it. I think it's great. I'm kind of going against the grain with that and saying I'm not gonna let paper die. I'm gonna keep making it until I die.